Hi, this is Chuck Swope with Win Life Success Coaching, and what I want to talk to you today is about some tips on succeeding with your New Year's resolutions. So if you're like most people, you start out the new year with some big plans, this big idea, it was your New Year's resolution. So the question I have for you is, how's it going so far? Are you sticking with it, or did you start out strong and now you're fading quickly, or maybe you never really gotten off first base? So if things aren't working out, don't really worry. And you're like most people. There are valid reasons for failure. Some of them you don't even know about. Plus, there are obstacles everywhere. Now, would you believe that only about 2% of people actually succeed with their New Year's resolution? So how can you become part of that 2%? Well, tip number one, most people think they can simply use willpower to change their habits. And that's easier said than done. You find out pretty quickly that willpower is pretty weak. You're programmed at a subconscious level. So when you try to change your actions through sheer willpower, your internal programming will automatically bring you back to square one. It's like a thermostat. It kicks on and gets you back. You may be able to change your actions for a short period of time, but ultimately that willpower will succumb to your internal programming. So do you know anyone that's really ever yo-yoed back and forth with their diet plans, or maybe they go to the gym for a short period of time, or they have any goal and maybe they start out with a bang and then it's gone? Well, that's all internal programming. So the trick to the whole thing is you need to change the programming. Now, you have to know how to do that, and it's pretty tough, and it takes all types of repetition and likely someone to hold you accountable. Tip number two, come up with a goal that really excites you, something that really gets you going, something that's not boring. I mean, go for something big. So, and be specific with it. You know, what is it you really want? Really decide, do I want this? Write it down, and then make sure you say it multiple times a day, and more so than say it, really feel it. You can also use the power of visualization. See yourself attaining the goal. See yourself being there. Put it in your conscious and subconscious mind every single day. And then make it time-bound and measurable. So set a deadline. Break it down into small parts. And then chart each step along the way for growth. You ever heard of how you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. So you may be thinking, well, what if I get to the deadline and I just ask you, if you had a goal of, say, losing 30 pounds, and you get to that deadline and you've only lost 15, would you really say, I guess I'm a failure. I'm not satisfied with this 15, so forget it, I'm done? No, you wouldn't. So you need to embrace the fact that you've lost 15. Just set a new deadline. There's a quote from Earl Nightingale that I like. He says that success is really nothing more than the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So if I go back to my weight loss example, if you lost 15 pounds, you're already a success. I mean, you're 15 pounds better than you were before. So it's important to continue to take those steps along the way to your ultimate goal, just like the quote talks about. And so what if it takes a little bit longer? Who cares? You're making successful strides. You're taking successful steps. So many people, see that as failure and give up, but it's the exact opposite thing. Tip number three, keep things simple. Focus on one or two goals at a time. Maybe one business or professional goal and one personal goal. Don't try to change your entire life or your entire business all at once. If you have too many goals, you're just going to overwhelm yourself. Plus, it dilutes your focus. Tip number four, reward yourself. When you make progress one step at a time, give yourself a pat on the back. Reward the process. You may not have reached your goal yet, but you're taking steps, and that's part of success anyway. Remember, attaining that goal is about doing lots of little small steps. It's not magic. You're not going to have your goals all at once. Take the steps for getting there. Tip number five, get an accountability partner, a mentor, a coach. A big reason people give up on their goals is really a lack of accountability. See, a coach or a mentor or a friend, they can hold regular meetings with you. They can give you encouragement, keep you accountable. It's funny, when we were kids, we all had teachers, we had coaches, we had tutors, but as we get older, we seem to look over the importance of having a coach in our business endeavors or in our personal lives. And a coach can really make a huge difference in taking you to levels you never thought possible. And the benefits far outweigh the cost. Would you believe that most of the world's successful people have coaches on a regular basis all year long? Tip number six, create a system and take daily actions. Break things down into small pieces or steps. take actions towards your goal daily or weekly, even if they're small. The key is to keep taking steps forward. I use the default calendaring system. So I put stuff on my calendar, and when that action plan comes up, I drop everything I'm doing and I do it. So when the clock strikes 10 o'clock on Tuesday, I make sure I take an action step towards my goal. So stay persistent and don't let one day knock you off course. If you have a bad day, just forget about that bad day. And at the end of the month, think about this. Let's say over the course of 31 days, you put together 25 awesome days and 6 terrible ones. Hey, 25 awesome days are great. You've made progress. So having a goal and not taking action steps at all is simply a wish. You really have to take steps. Now, after all this, if you think, gosh, it's just so tough for me to keep up with my goals, you may be thinking that a coach is the best option for you. So if you're thinking you want a coach or a mentor, get in touch with me. We can talk about it. You can check out my website at www.winlifesuccess.com. You can email me at chuck@winlifesuccess.com, or you can call me at 540-664-8630. Now, we can see if there's a fit. I'll be the first person to admit that coaching may not be the right choice for all people. But for many of you, it could be the missing piece that catapults you to places you've only dreamed of. So I'm also having a class coming up. The next class will start Tuesday, January 29th at 5:30. So if you're interested in that, act quickly. I know it's right around the corner. I look forward to hearing from you, and let's make plans to make this the best year ever. So have a good day.